This video is brought to you by Yes Athletics. Women's heavyweight advanced Nogi division. I'm not typically a heavyweight, but there weren't any other uh, advanced women signed up, so this is what I did. All right, we slap and bump. We immediately are hand fighting. She's being really aggressive with her hand fighting, so I am trying to just look for my inside control. She circles around, she shoots in, but I'm able to kind of stuff her shot and tie up with her. I'm looking to try to get to an advantageous position. I start to look for my Russian off of the collar tie, and she's doing a good job of stiff arming and trying to defend that Russian tie. Here, I'm trying to stay on it, but she's able to get free. She circles back around, and we go back to our hand fighting. We tie back up in the collar tie. I start to kind of feel out where her weight is. She's pressuring into me pretty hard. And so I circle, and right here I drop down for my little front trip, and I come up and she goes to guard, and I get my 2 points for the takedown. I start hand fighting inside of the guard, trying to post up on her biceps. She's trying to dig under and try to break my posture back down so that she can look for her sweeps and submissions. I am looking to posture up and try to stand so that I can start to break her guard open. She goes for a little sweep, but I'm able to keep my weight centered so that she can't off balance me. And we are back to our hand fighting. I'm looking for that positioning on her biceps. She is looking to swim around here for a guillotine, but I'm able to pressure her back down. She's trying to break down my posture and pull me down. I am trying to posture up and stay nice and centered with my weight. I'm pressuring on her hips, looking to try to get that guard open. She's doing a good job of keeping me pressured down, but I'm starting to be able to get my bearing to start to try to stand up and pressure on her ankles. She's trying to underhook to go for a sweep, and when she lets go of her guard, I immediately swim for double underhooks and start to pressure in with my chest to start to try to go in for my smash pass. I make some mistakes here. I'm a little bit too chest pressure heavy rather than bringing my hips underneath her hips quite as much as I should be. I do a little bit, but again, I'm a little bit too high. And so as she kind of goes to stiff arm me and I come around, she has a little bit too much space. So when I turn, she's able to belly down and go to the turtle position, which prevents me from getting my 3 points for the pass. So that was a really smart defense on her part, and I definitely need to work on that pass a little bit more. Here I am looking to try to circle to get to the back. She is trying to fight my hands and work for a sit out or escape. Here she starts to just reach in for my leg, but instead she decides to kind of sit through, and I'm able to stay on her. I'm kind of going for this guillotine here, and she wraps up my foot in like a quarter guard, and I am looking to start to pass from here to my full mount position. She is trying to stay on her side and try to pass my leg through to half guard, which she's doing a pretty good job of here. I am trying to flatten her out and start to hunt for my pass. Here I'm able to secure my right side underhook. Since she has control of my right leg, the right side underhook is the one that's most important. Here I start to cross face and flatten her, and she is able to regain that underhook on my right side, her left side. So she is starting to look for her half guard sweeps. Here she's trying to use her right arm to dig under my left leg, but I get kind of mean with this crossface to try to flatten her back out, and I start to look to attack her left arm here with a little Kimura. She is still trying to look to come up, but I am able to get my figure four around that arm and start to flatten her back out. I keep my hips pressured heavy, but she is able to start to bring her knee in and start to recover her guard. So I stand up to keep my knee wedged in to prevent her from getting her closed guard wrapped up. I think about going back for a leg lock here, but I really wanted to work my pressure passing and my top pressure game. So I decide to go back into this half guard position. This time trying to keep her as flat as possible. I do have my left side underhook this time. I'm keeping a lot of pressure on her head and her upper body to keep her flattened out so that she's not able to get to her hip this time. I'm looking to start to pull my left leg out while she is looking to try to either recover her closed guard or try to sweep me over with a half guard sweep. But I'm pressuring really, really hard and making it difficult for her to do that. Here I'm able to start to transition to more of a quarter mount position. I get my hips nice and high and I push off with my opposite foot and I'm able to get all the way through to full mount. I am leading by points and I'm starting to run low on time, but I really want to finish with a submission. So I am immediately hunting for my armbar position. I'm able to start to slide my hips around and get my leg over the head. I'm immediately putting pressure on that arm. I'm able to attack at her elbow and then reach up and start to attack at her wrist. I'm able to get the arm straightened out, and right at the last second, I get the tap. I didn't know this, but she had a pre-existing injury on that shoulder. So she was fine. It was not my fault. I did feel bad though. But she was okay because she did her next match. So she was a really good sport about it. I felt really bad. That's one of the cons of this sport is sometimes people get hurt. But it was a good armbar. It was a good match. We had a lot of fun. I was flexing because somebody in the crowd was yelling to me. But yeah, I've competed against her before. She's a great competitor. And moving on to the next match. She's being really aggressive right out of the gate with the hand fighting, looking for her level change. I'm able to stiff arm and prevent her from shooting in. We're circling, we're hand fighting, looking for that good hand positioning, that good head positioning so we can start to work for our takedowns. We start to tie up here. I start to back her up a little bit and we circle. Staying in this collar tie, she goes into kind of level change, but decides not to shoot. We're circling, still in this collar tie position. I kind of tap in on her leg to see if I could go for a single, but I was a little bit too far away in that collar tie position. She's being pretty aggressive here again, but I'm able to hang with her. We keep circling, keep fighting for that wrist control, that hand control. I'm trying to go 2-on-1 and then switch to that collar tie. She's doing a good job defending. Trying to get in that collar tie. We're tied up here. Here I'm feeling out her weight again. She's pressuring hard into me with all of her weight. And so I start to back her up and capitalize on that. I hit that same little trip I hit in the first match, but this time she lands on her knees in a turtle position as opposed to falling to her back. So I'm immediately digging around the head and I've got a good grip around the head. So I sit back for my guillotine and she taps to the guillotine. This is my first time ever getting a guillotine in competition. So I was pretty excited about that, as you can see. And yeah, this was a good match. She was a really good sport. I love competing against her. I've competed against her several times. She always gives me really good, aggressive matches. Again, I was flexing because somebody in the crowd was talking to me. Yeah, here's me getting my belt in my Yes Athletics wrestling shoes. And yeah, thanks for watching.